can't get it.
But you see how much kidnappers are taking from victims.
My thing is, government should always stay with us. Get that, and I think we get that. The 3% for the oil producing community is too low.
So the support that is needed, and once you get the support, your energy will blossom.
This is Nigeria. You need to give people sense of belonging.
Good morning. Welcome to November 29th, 2021 edition of Inside Nigeria, where we'll be highlighting, dissecting, and highlighting major front page news stories of some Nigerian newspapers. My name is Winifred Ubebo, and I'm here alone this morning to highlight some newspaper review. I hope you had a beautiful weekend. And this week, I'm also wishing you a favorable week ahead. Thank you. We are starting off with our staple leadership newspaper, Nigeria's most influential newspaper. And today on the paper cover, it says, concern over vacuum in INEC as 5 national commissioners retire next week. Concern over vacuum in INEC, Independent National Electoral Commission, as 5 national commissioners retire next week. On the rider, says President here to make nominations. Southeast, South-South, Northeast, North Central, Southwest may be unrepresented. And INEC says no cause for alarm. That is on leadership newspaper. Up on the white bus this morning, still on leadership newspaper, it says Nigeria Deposit Insurance Corporation NDIC pays 13 billion naira to depositors of failed banks. NDIC pays 113 billion naira to depositors of failed banks. That is the white bus on leadership newspaper. Going under the cover, scroll down under the cover, there are so many interesting stories on leadership today. Electoral bill. President Muhammadu Buhari will consider public interest before assenting. That is the AGF Malami, that is the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Mr. Abubakar Malami. He says on electoral bill, PMB will consider public interest before assenting. And we have another news story on malaria. Federal government laments high malaria mortality rate, and that is page 8 on leadership newspaper this morning. On the side of leadership, it says subsidy removal will worsen hardship. That is Pentecostal Fellowship of Nigeria, PFN. It says subsidy removal will worsen hardship, and reps give postal officials powers to search aircraft. Also, DSS denies report of extrajudicial killings in Southeast. Government attack Plateau Correctional Center. All these stories, headline stories, are on leadership newspaper this Monday, 29th of November, 2021. And for more on the stories, you can go to the website to read more on the stories and get a copy too, a hard copy. So moving away from leadership newspaper, we are going to the sister publication, the National Economy. The National Economy says port security officers bemoan Nigeria's annual $26.3 billion loss to maritime crimes. Port security officials bemoan Nigeria's annual $26.3 billion loss to maritime crimes. Port security officials bemoan Nigeria's annual $26.3 billion loss to maritime crimes. That is on national economy. For more on national economy, you can go over to the website to read more on the story this morning. Away from national economy, Blueprint is next on our menu today. Blueprint says jailbreakers trapped in Jos Custodial Center. Jailbreakers trapped in Jos Custodial Center. Kidnappers have relocated to Kwara, Kogi, Gani Adams. Kingpins killed in Kaduna, 10 Zaria local government workers freed. Zamfara police arrest 30-year-old woman arms supplier. Declaration of bandits as terrorists, long overdue, non-time youth. These are potpourri of stories today on Blueprint newspaper. From Blueprint newspaper, we'll move over to the New Telegraph. Center for Social Justice proposed 5,000 palliative for 40 million Nigerians fraudulent. Center for Social Justice proposed 5,000 naira palliative for 40 million Nigerians fraudulent. Says subsidy always on front burner each time government's resources are lean. Doling adds 2.4 trillion naira to caution effect of removing 1.8 trillion fuel subsidy absorbed. Says subsidy always on front burner each time government's resources are lean. Doling out 2.4 trillion naira to cushion effect of removing 1.8 trillion fuel subsidy absorbed. Fuel subsidy removal will impose hardship on Nigerians, PDP orders. That is on New Telegraph. And beneath New Telegraph newspaper, we have this story from the minister, which says, Minister advocates castration for incest rape perpetrators. Minister advocates castration for incest rape perpetrators. For more on the story, you get New Telegraph newspaper. We move over to the next paper on our menu today, and that is THISDAY newspaper. THISDAY newspaper. THISDAY says Omicron COVID-19. Nigeria stands with South Africa, warns West against discrimination. Omicron COVID-19. Nigeria stands with South Africa, warns West against discrimination. Omicron COVID-19. Nigeria stands with South Africa, warns West against discrimination. African Development Bank president says Africa should not be penalized for new strain. Once vaccine manufacturing accelerated in continent. Emefiele, OPS seek proactive action. Ramaphosa urges countries to reverse travel ban. That is potpourri of stories today on this day concerning the COVID-19 variant Omicron. Underneath this day newspaper, up the white box on this day newspaper, it says NDIC, that is the Nigerian Deposit Insurance Corporation, to adopt risk-based approach in determining banks' premium. NDIC to adopt risk-based approach in determining banks' premium. Says in event of banks' failure, 97% depositors would be covered. That is on this day newspaper this morning. From this day, we are moving over to our last paper for review this morning, and it is the Punch newspaper. The Punch says, federal government bans 91 billionaires, VIPs jets, insist on 30 billion naira duty. The federal government bans 91 billionaires, VIPs jets, insist on 30 billion naira duty. Top pastors, business moguls, banks, and oil firm CEOs affected. NCAA, FAAN, NAMA get letters to grant affected planes. Aviation Ministry, Customs on war parts over flight ban directive. Federal government bans 91 billionaires VIPs jets, insists on 30 billion naira duty. Top pastors, business moguls, banks, and oil firm CEOs affected. NCAA, FAAN, NAMA, NAMA get letters to grant affected planes. Aviation Ministry, Customs on warpath over flight ban directives. That is on Punch newspaper. Underneath Punch newspaper, we have stories on the red box. Granddaughter died. Hoodlum scoop fear. Attack firemen, others in Ogun tanker explosion. Granddaughter died. Hoodlums scoop fear. Attack firemen, others in Ogun tanker explosion. Also, we have a story underneath the pictures on the Punch newspaper this morning, which says motorist commuters drone in Lagos Ibadan road gridlock. Federal government says diversion will last 6 days. That is on Punch newspaper this morning. So, well, viewers, this is what we're calling it a day on today's Inside Nigeria. Though brief, but we just gave a highlight of major headline news stories today on some selected newspapers. Tomorrow is another day, and don't forget to keep it date with us. I remain Winifred. Bye.
Thank you for watching. For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.